Richard, I thought we were all on board on what a red team is and what its purpose is. But after we put this question out to the LinkedIn community, boy, was I wrong, because everyone has a different opinion of when you should do a red team and what's the purpose of the red team. Where do you stand on this discussion?
To me, a red team is very bespoke, very customized, very high end. The lack of good definitions around red teaming really makes a difference. To me, a red teaming is a very collaborative sort of game that you play with a customer.
And by the way, many have redefined that as purple teaming, actually.
When I say collaborative, you can go the full purple team route, which is open box, I'm coming. A red team can also be very, very stealthy. But just because I'm being stealthy and you're not sure about my attack paths, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not collaborative.
One of the big arguments is when to do the red team. And I know over at Praetorian, you argue, you should put it at the front so you know what to build in the first hand. And then other people argue, but how can I test anything if I don't have something built? So where do you land on this?
Oh, I definitely think that you do it up front. But I think that the reason people don't like to do that is they don't see a red team activity as collaborative. They see it as a win-lose game. Did you beat the red teamers or did the red teamers beat you? Don't think about it that way. A red team is like a sparring partner. So when I was learning karate, they would have the black belts spar with the white belts like me. And what the black belts do is they're just that little bit better than you so that you get better.
By the way, a black belt is a lot better than you, but for the purpose of sparring, they bring themselves down to be just a little bit better than you.
Yes, exactly right. They figure out where you are and they figure out how to make you better. And I think when you treat a red team, when somebody says, I'm not ready for a red team, what that means is that they know they're going to, quote, lose. And I think that's the wrong mindset. What that red team should be doing is helping you get your strategy right for how you better defend, rather than simply tactically, can they beat you or not? And it's a subtle shift in worldview, but it's a very important one, David.
This is kind of like what you're doing at Praetorian. You're trying to be that better basketball player or karate instructor, black belt, to just up everybody's game, if you will. Am I getting that right?
That's exactly right. And we'll take our level based on where you are. So, we're not going to come in like the Miami Heat, if you're just a beginner, because you won't learn anything by losing 120-0. It's about looking at the customer, figuring out what the customer needs, and then figuring out how to match what you do to give them the best possible outcome. And we started by talking a little bit about compliance. And I think that's why security programs fail. Compliance is a different outcome than security. You can be compliant and get very badly breached. If you get it the other way around, if your security is really good, you usually get compliance as a byproduct of that. And again, it's these little changes in how we think about things are so important.
If you want to play against the Praetorian team, who will again not play at the level of the Miami Heat, I would have appreciated the Boston Celtics, being that I'm a Celtics fan, but we'll take Miami Heat. Whatever NBA team you don't want to go up against, they won't be that. They'll be the team that works with you, and that's Praetorian. Here's our web address right here. Go to Praetorian.com and see how they can essentially build an offensive security team with you to improve your security program overall.